Hi, it's the 23rd of July and I went to my first group meeting yesterday with the new format. So I want to feed back. But remember, I'm feeding back as a blind person in a sighted meeting. So my reactions may be different from yours, but we'll see. Two things I want to mention quickly. Firstly, if you have time, read some of the comments on my last video. Different people have different opinions about group, and I found them interesting. One lady said they were told the groups are now to be aimed at, they want 20-somethings in. There's going to be more digital sign-ins, there's going to be digital bookings of holidays, and what was the third thing? Oh yeah, SINS, the word SINS is going. So all of these things are coming in the future. Personally, I wish they'd done it all in one go. Let's get on with it, let's get it over with, let's get dealing with the new stuff, and let's move on if we need to. Right, the other comment that I found really, really brilliant was from Leanne Rivet. Thanks, Leanne. Leanne does a lot of really interesting things in her work and in her personal life, but one of the things she taught me in her comment was, when I say HALT, stands for hungry, angry, lonely, tired, well, wait, W-A-I-T. Why am I talking? And I found that in group yesterday, that I kept wanting to defend things, and I probably did speak more than I needed to, but I didn't speak more than some others. But why am I talking? I found myself wanting to say no. That's not right. No. Anyway, we'll go into that. But remember, wait, why am I talking? Very valuable. Loved it. Okay, I've given Joe a few pointers. I don't want to prattle on like I usually do, because I'm very verbal. I'll try and keep it neat. Okay, Joe?
Paper versus tablet.
Right, usually in group where your leader stands there with her tablet and she has information on there and she can say, oh yes, Jane, you've been coming for 14 months, you're losing an average of £1.1 a week, blah, 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 blah. It's your birthday this week, or it's not, but it's your birthday this week. She's got all that information on her tablet. Well, the feeling now, according to my consultant, is that that tablet gets in the way between her and you. I say bullshit to that. Because now, instead of the tablet, she has a piece of paper in her hand. What's the difference? Apart from that piece of paper doesn't have all of your back information accessible. All it is a list of who lost what or who gained what this week. So it might say, Jane gained £1. I didn't, but I'm just... Sarah lost £2. Sally lost £3. And they'll all be lumped together. So you may say in group, oh, this week, £3 loss. Sally, Rosemary and Brian. Whatever, that's the way they're doing it. But if I want to say then, what's my average loss? She can't tell me because she hasn't got a tablet. I find that a bit weird. I find that really weird. I'm wondering, are they going to open Sunday groups? Because they don't need the tablet to do the group. They've never done Sunday groups previously because the head office isn't open on a Sunday and they need the tablet backup connection to head office. That's just a thought that came into my head. But I don't know what use a piece of paper is that has no information about your history or even something as simple as it's your birthday this week, because the nice lady I sit next to had a birthday yesterday. At one point my consultant would have said, oh, blah blah, it's your birthday today. How are you going to deal with that? She didn't even say happy birthday to her. I mentioned the fact that it was the lady's birthday. My consultant said to her at the end of the meeting, why didn't you tell me it was your birthday? We've never needed to before. You've always had that at your fingertips on your tablet. So I don't think it's a step forward to replace an electronic tablet with a sheet of A4 paper. Personally, I think that's a step backwards. Next point, Joe.
Loss of structure and control.
I felt, as somebody who's sat in Slimming World meetings for the best part of 50 years, coming and going, losing and gaining, I felt the meeting had no real structure. Our meetings always had a good structure. It's always been, group news, information, blah, blah, blah. Let's tell you all about Slimming World Kitchen. Let's tell you about forthcoming 12-week countdowns, because there's one on at the moment where you can get a free book. All that. So the business, the housekeeping, followed by, let's talk about how we've all done this week because we're all valued. That's a joke. So that had structure. And then maybe there would be a topical discussion. Depends on the size of the group, I find, but maybe there would be a topical discussion. Or if somebody needed specific help because they literally were, struggling with food noise, like Lisa shared on the Losers Club last Wednesday, or was that Friday's meeting? I can't remember, Lisa, sorry. But struggling with food noise, or they'd got multiple events coming up this week and they needed to navigate it. Everybody would chip in and help. We had a good group going. That seems to have gone out the window now. And I felt that the meeting had absolutely no structure. And this is only my opinion, yours might be very different. It had absolutely no structure and it just kind of drifted. And also my opinion, again, is you need a very strong consultant to keep a meeting on track, whether any kind of meeting. I mean, I've been to a lot of 12-step meetings over the years. I've never known one to drift. It's always been on point and there's a reason for it. I felt yesterday that meeting just drifted. There was no sense of time, there was no sense of ownership, and there was no sense of responsibility. And my consultant is lovely. She's lovely. And she's nice. But by gum, you need strength to control a meeting that's got that format. You really do. You need strength to control me and others. Okay, next point, Joe.
Do we now value losers more?
So we started the meeting and we do the, X, Y and Z's lost £0.5, A, B and C's lost £1, whatever, up to the biggest loser that week, who is not always the person who's going to get basket of the week, with slimmer of the week, because they may have had a gain the previous week, or they may have been on holiday the previous week. So you can't follow the queue upwards and see the person at the top is going to be slimmer of the week. Our biggest loser yesterday had an amazing loss, which she'd worked very hard for, of £4. But she'd had a very slight gain the previous week. The person who won our slimmer of the week basket had a loss of £1.5. It made that feel a bit weird, because usually you go around the room, you've got your 1.5, your 2, your minus, your plus, your maintain, you lost £0.5, gained £3, lost £4. But you lose track of, as you go around the room, of what everybody's done. You acknowledge it, you congratulate, but you lose track of what they've done. But when you start at £0.5 and go up, 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 and then you hit the person at the top, my feeling was, oh, so-and-so, she's got slimmer of the week basket. But no, the focus is on that, but the person probably 2 or 3 weights down can win slimmer of the week basket. I thought for newcomers that was quite confusing, because you've just said so-and-so's got £1.5, so-and-so's got £2, so-and-so's got £2.5, so-and-so's got £4. There's new people in the room hearing that, and then slimmer of the week basket goes to a £1.5. I thought that was more confusing. So the focus is on the losers, and that's great. We all want to celebrate a loss. We all would like a loss, but in reality, we're not all going to get a loss every week. It doesn't work like that. Our bodies don't know that they have to have lost weight at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. If you weigh in on a Wednesday morning, you could get a loss. If you weigh in on a Tuesday morning, it may be a maintain or a slight gain. Our bodies are not robots. So, yeah, do losers get the attention? I found that yesterday. And I'm sorry, but I found it very hard to have, after reading in the comments that Slimming World don't want it to be a middle-aged, happy, clappy group, I found it very hard to clap anybody yesterday, because by that point I didn't give a toss. I didn't give a toss about my weight loss or anybody else's. I thought, I don't get the structure of this meeting. I don't get the continuity of this meeting. I don't get the passion, because there wasn't any. It just felt odd. Maybe it's because it was the first one. Maybe it will change. Maybe the consultant will, with practice, learn how to shut people like me up and others, and learn how to encourage people who say very little. Next point, Joe.
Maintaining, is it a positive?
Right, I maintained yesterday. And if I hadn't been the gobby bugger I am and spoke up about it, I felt like it would have just been, she maintained. Now, why did I maintain yesterday? I maintained yesterday because I bloody well intended to. I told you in my video on Saturday, I'm aiming to lose £1.5 a month. I lost £1 the first week of the month, I maintained the second week. I lost £1 last week, I've maintained this week. I'm already £0.5 ahead of what I want to lose this month, and I've got one more weigh-in. So I didn't eat this week to lose weight, I ate to maintain. That's the whole purpose of this plan, that we want to get to a place where we're not necessarily at target, but we want to know how to eat to facilitate a weight loss. Or sometimes you have to eat to facilitate a gain because you are a target member. You're right at the bottom. If you don't think about it seriously, you're going to fall out the bottom of your target, then you have to pay. So you've got to learn sooner or later how to eat to facilitate a gain, to facilitate a loss, and to facilitate a maintain. Because ideally at target, you want to be maintaining or gaining a fraction, losing a fraction, staying somewhere in your bubble, as they call it now. Bloody silly word. Right, so yesterday I got a maintain because I intended to. At the beginning of the meeting we were told the chat in the meeting, the talk in the meeting, the sharing in the meeting is to be about food and food optimising. Well, it wasn't. I tried to bring it back to that when I kind of insisted on sharing why I got a maintain. There was method and I wasn't mad. I was really happy with it when I was on the scales. Yes, that's what I wanted. But you don't get an opportunity to share that. You don't get an opportunity to follow the people who are losing weight, coming down in weight behind you because you're 14 months ahead of them. You don't get the opportunity to say to them, keep food optimising because you will learn to control your weight by food optimising. There is a plan there that works. But you need to be able to share that when you've got the result you wanted, which may have been like the lady I was sitting next to. It was her birthday. She was in danger of falling out of the bottom of her target. She needed to gain yesterday to stay in target. And she bloody well did it, and she did it well. But unless you can verbalise that, we talked about it, but unless you can verbalise that, until these people are at target and twittering on about the fact that, this is harder than maintaining, this is harder than losing. It is harder than losing. Wait till you get there, you'll love it, but it's hard work. Don't let anybody tell you that once you get to target you can eat what you like, because you can't. You have to learn to manoeuvre around it and manipulate a loss, a gain or a maintain. And you'll only do that by food optimising. You can adjust your sins, you can adjust your B choices, you can adjust how much bread you eat that week. You learn your own body and you learn how to do it. But if you're maintaining in group and they're not even paying you lip service, you might as well bloody well go home after you've weighed in. Because that's what I felt like yesterday. But why did I even bother staying? I expected this. But I need to stay because I need to see how it evolves. Okay, next one, Jack.
Is the meeting skewed towards losers?
Yes. I think that's what Slimming World want. I think they want the publicity, how magnificent our diet is, because we don't need Manjaro. But then, the other side of the coin is, they have a lot of social media stuff coming up, advertising the fact that if you need Manjaro, you also need Slimming World. Come to us, we'll teach you how to eat. I'm sorry, but most of the people I know who are taking Manjaro, and I know quite a few, through social media and personally, are taking it because Slimming World didn't work for them. Because they learned that Slimming World, in the long run, only works if you work it.
That wasn't really the answer to the question, though.
Yeah, but, sorry, repeat the question then.
Is the meeting skewed towards losers?
Yeah, well, I'm getting to that.
Oh, right.
Right.
You just went off about Manjaro.
No, I'm getting to the skewed towards losers.
Okay.
So you could be sitting in group, and you could be somebody who has been, you've come back new, you've been through several Slimming World meetings before. You don't need to be faced with people who are taking Manjaro. What you need to be faced with is, here is a plan that works if you work it. We need to be talking about food optimising. We don't need to be sitting in a meeting where the people who own our meeting, the company that we are representing, are advertising, take Manjaro and come to us. Because if you're sitting at home thinking, I want to get back on Slimming World, you know it works, you've done it before, you've put the weight back on. I've been there, I've done that. You want to hear, Slimming World works if you work it. You don't want to hear, take Manjaro and come to Slimming World. Because it's not really the best option. You can pay your 150 quid a month for Manjaro. You can pay your £6 a week for Slimming World, which is more affordable for most people. And I'll be honest, I know it works because I've done it. And I've recently done it again. But I've learned this time that I need to keep doing it. It's taken me a long time to get here. But I think it is skewed towards losers because in the new meeting format, the ones who are getting the happy clappy, if they get much these days, and the ones who are getting celebrated and the ones who are getting encouraged are the ones who've lost weight. The rest of you, I felt like just put up and shut up. I want to encourage the people who are struggling. The ones who are losing have got it sussed at the moment. They may lose the plot at some point. We could all lose the plot at some point. But at the moment it's working for them, by hook or by crook, by plan or by their own version. But the ones who are sitting and have gained, they're not in that position. And just by celebrating Martha, Arthur, I probably shouldn't have said Martha because I have a lovely commenter called Martha, sorry Martha. The ones who are over there, the Allens, the Adams, the Sarahs, the Susans, the Shirleys, whatever, who are losing, don't affect me. I am not going to walk out of a meeting after having a gain and think, Sheila can do it, Cynthia can do it, why don't I want to be more like them? Because I'm me, and I'm working my plan, and I'm getting my results. I never compare myself with anybody else, and I don't want to start that. Beautiful woman lost 4 pounds yesterday. She's a vegetarian. I'm not all the time. I don't want to compare my journey with her journey. She's a heck of a lot taller than me. She's younger than me. She's different to me. She's more active than me. All these things. I don't want to say because she lost 4 pounds this week, I can do it next week. That's comparing myself. That's not healthy. I'm on my journey. And I don't think if I'm sitting over here with a gain, what anybody over there or over there has done to get a loss is really what's going to help me. I need to be able to verbalise why I've got a gain. And sometimes it's purely because I'm 100% on plan and this week I just got weighed on the wrong day. It's not always that you've done anything off plan. It's not always or ever that you've done anything wrong. There is no right or wrong. You don't ever want to come into a meeting and feel like I'm a failure, because you're not. Because the tendency is to think, cut back, cut back, cut back. No. Right, next one, Joe.
Don't we all pay for group midweek support?
Yeah. Just touching back on that, if you've had a gain this week, please do not think that cutting out A's, B's and sins is going to save you. Because it don't work like that. You need to work the plan properly. You need 5 to 15 sins. You need, or more if you're a man. You need a B choice. You need 2 A choices. Not just because you can have them, because you need them for your sanity. Because the problem is, you cut them out this week, how the hell do you put them back in next week? Because your head will tell you, I'll get a gain. You cut your sins to rock bottom and have 1 or 2 when you're allowed 5 to 15, 20, 30, whatever. If you cut them down to rock bottom this week, how are you going to put them back up next week? Your body doesn't know what you're doing. It only knows what you're putting into it and what you're expending energy-wise. Be careful with that, everybody. I've tried it. I've experienced it over the years. It's not the best way. I pay for group, yeah. And you know, yesterday I felt like we all pay for group. When it came to the gains and maintains, we were told, by my consultant, I will support you midweek. Now, you know me, Gobby so-and-so, I actually said, hand up, please don't. I don't need you to support me midweek. I know my plan, I work my plan. I'm not going to struggle in the middle of the week. I'm struggling today. I'm here and now, and I'm struggling today. I probably didn't verbalise it quite that well, but I did say, please, and anybody who's in my group would verify this, please don't contact me midweek. My life's busy. I don't need that. I need the support, the help, the encouragement, the motivation, everything I pay for, getting on the scales, whatever. I need all of that in that meeting on a Tuesday morning, because that's what I'm bloody paying for. I am not going to pay, I pay £5.65 because I'm a pensioner. I am not going to pay £5.65 to be told I'll text you in the middle of the week. Sod off. Excuse me, but I'm passionate about this. Sod off. If I wanted help in the middle of the week, I'd contact my consultant, or I'd contact Shell, or I'd contact Byron or Lisa or Rufus, or people I'm friendly with on group who work a good plan, or some of the people who used to go to my old group who I'm still in touch with. I don't need people checking up on me. I'm a grown-up, I'm 68 years old, and I do not need checking up on. I know this plan as well as any consultant does. And if I'm not working it, it's because I'm not choosing to work it. And if I am working it, it's because I am choosing to work it. And the result I get in group is the result I deserve, and I'll own it. But I accept that you can go into group and you can have a gain and you can stand on the scales totally baffled. How on earth did that happen? But unless you've got the opportunity to verbalise that in group, you're going to walk out that group. I would, if I'd have been back where I used to be, I'd have walked up that group and it would have been, let me at the crap. Because I'd walk out there feeling so let down. Another comment that was on my video in the comments, and you can read it for yourself, so I'm not speaking out of turn, it wasn't private. A lady comments, I think Joan comments, that she overheard her consultant saying to her social team, I want paying members, not these freeloaders. My God, that's disgusting. Target members are not freeloaders. And if I'm not saying Slimming World would ever say that, but for a consultant to say that, I'm sorry, but I'd have reported her. That's disgusting. The target members should be, as my consultant said yesterday, the experts in the room. Some of them are quiet people who don't want to verbalise and give advice. They just want to work their personal plan. They don't stay as target members to become assistant consultants. Most of the target members don't even get onto the social team. We've got a fabulous social team in my group, fabulous. But we've got to value our social team, and we've got to value our target members, and we've got to value our consultants. But if you want respect and you want to be valued, you earn it. And if you get to target and you stay there, you're earning respect. But it doesn't mean you then have to become an assistant consultant, because a lot of people don't want to be. They're not all mouthy like me. But I'll tell you now, I will keep going to group, I will keep going to my group, but I will not keep quiet. If I've got a gain, I'm not going to sit there and take it. I want to know, what do I do about it? Give me some help. How have I done this? I want to walk out of that meeting with my positive pants on and a positive head on. I don't want to walk out of that meeting thinking, well, that pissed me off. Where's the nearest cake?
You're at 24 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my feelings. I'm opinionated, I'm gobby. People who watch me know that. Your experience may be totally, totally different. I'm going to ask Michelle if she would do a vlog about her experience as a blind person in group. We're overlooked anyway. They don't provide us with information that we can access. I'll take that because the world's like that. But I will not sit in that group and keep my mouth shut when I am paying as much as anybody else to be there. Thanks for listening. I'll see you on Saturday.